Good evening, everyone, and welcome back. And welcome to episode 25 of Campaign 2 of Malt and Magic. I've had a week off, so my brain is just tonight, all in a haze. But I have certainly missed you all. I have missed these fine gentlemen on the screen above me right now, if I'm looking at my screen. But yes, before we get into any chaos or figure out what we're doing tonight, let's run down my usual thank yous and shout outs. So first of all, a big thank you and shout out to Incarnate, Albert Radio and Dungeon Alchemist for all things virtual tabletop, mapping, and sort of visuals in terms of places. Then a big shout out to Hero Forge for all of the visuals in terms of NPCs. Of course, our artwork is all courtesy of the amazing Stick. So thank you once again, Stick. Thank you for the raid, Sky, straight off the bat. Amazing. Welcome all, right in the middle of the intro, so you've not missed anything. Thank you so much for being here. That is amazing. So yes, where did I get to? Hero Forge, thank you very much to them. Thank you, Stick, for all the character artwork. And then there's the DM's tools that I use in the background. So 5e Magic Shop, 2 Minutes Tools, the Thieves Guild, and World Anvil, as I just correct my camera there, realising it's cutting the top of my head off. And yes, all of the musical tracks and sound effects you hear are courtesy of Tabletop Audio and Battle Bards. We spoke a lot about Battle Bards in the past, but please go and check out their version 2 of their site now, which is a lot better than the previous version. I think they will not mind me saying that. And now comes with its own subscription service as well, so pay once and get everything ultimately. So yes, go check them out. And yes, you can see the social media links on the bottom of the screen there, so come interact with us. There is a new one to add because obviously social media has gone nuts in the last week. We're still finalising what we're going to do with threads and wherever the hell that's going. As soon as we sort that out, we will let you know. I personally am already on there, just giving it a try out, see what the community's like, as is Danny, I believe. So go and find us. But yes, you can catch us still on Twitter, still on Instagram. Of course, you're here live with us on Twitch. But if you're listening or watching after the fact, thank you for joining us on YouTube. Of course, there is the TikTok channel as well, which I've not done a lot with, really. I should update that and do something on it. We'll see if we can get a funny clip from some of our episodes and throw it on there just to keep that community going as well. So yes, join us on social media. I've spoken about the YouTube channel on there as well. Of course, all of our past episodes are available on the YouTube channel. That includes one-shots, specials. There's also a link to the special, or the one-shot, if we like, that we did with Bedford, the place. So that sort of concurrently timed Malt and Magic Forgotten Kingdom of Nylin offshoot one-shot episode. That's the most long-winded way I've ever described that one. So go and check that out. Of course, you can also find those links on the Discord server, so please come and join us on the Discord server. I'm halfway through the next homebrew sort of release, which I will dump on there probably during the intro, to be honest, just so you've got that and you can go have a look at it. It's a nice one tonight. Is Anders Bow, which was very interesting during the game, so go and check that out. And yes, thank you to anyone that is supporting us by listening on the podcast as well. If you are listening on the podcast, please do leave us a rating or review and just help us grow and climb those charts. The more followers we get, the more people we get interacting, obviously the more we can do. Now, speaking of followers, we are still 6 away. Six followers away, I think, or we may be 5, I don't know. 6 or 5, we're around that number to start our next giveaway, which is still just down here. So go find us 5 more followers, folks, and you can get that one-of-a-kind item. We will start the competition and start that giveaway so you can win, as I say, that handcrafted, one-of-a-kind, very unique multi-magic item. Will not be seen again on here anytime soon, because it does take a long while to sort them out. Cool, I think that is it for my intros and my shout-outs. Only to say we are still one man down this week. Samau is busy working again, so we wish him well and we will see him soon. So yes, that's me. The only other thing to say is obviously our partnership with Homie and the Dude continues. Their Kickstarter is now live, so we will play the advert again in the break, but please go and pledge your support to the Sky Zephyrs Kickstarter, which went live last week. So yeah, help them go get that funded, and hopefully we'll then introduce some of those mechanics in the game. With that being said, I will shut up for a little while, and you can go and watch our very nice intro. So there will be adult language. There will most certainly be adult humour as well. You have been warned. Let's roll. Hello.
Oh, it's good to be back in it.
It is good to be
It is
back.
good to
It's
be
very nice.
It does feel nice to be back on this little lineup just here. Of course, one man down, but they will be back with us soon. So yes, I hope everybody had a nice week off. I certainly did, on a holiday with my family, which was very enjoyable. I suppose while we're on the subject of scheduling, next week is another break. Not because any of us are on holiday, because I've got a work thing I need to attend, so I can't make it next Monday. So instead, we're going to play part 2 of Witches and Wildlights. Part 1, of course, rebroadcast last week, so we're going to rebroadcast part 2 next week, which will wrap that one up again, and then we will be back the following week with a vengeance, carrying on with episode 26. So a little bit of a broken schedule, but there's things going on and life is happening, so hopefully you'll forgive us for that. And with that, I promised I would shut up, so let's run down the lineup and I can say one more thing and then let you guys talk for a little bit. So I'm Matt, I am the Dungeon Master, and also playing the metaphysical forms of Cog and Tabitha and any other fucking creature these guys decide to adopt.
Yeah, Jewel needs to find one, doesn't she? Yes, hello. I'm Dave, and I am playing Jewel of Shadows, the female Tabaxi rogue.
I think we did settle on getting a canary so it could be like Sylvester and Tweety, didn't we?
Yeah, that works pretty well. That's it. Done deal. Next pet shop. That's it.
And you can't shut up too much, Matt, because without you there isn't a story. So.
Well, there is. You guys make the story. I just sort of push the pieces every now and again.
All right. We derail the story you pre-planned with our own. Yeah, okay.
I just try and bring you back down to some semblance of order.
Danny and I play Lex Ordo, the most logical, sensible man, the complete opposite of me in real life. You anti-sorcerer.
Very good. And of course, Simao, who is not with us today, plays Carsis Wispcut, our resident blade singer wizards, who is currently sat in your room within the Azure Pillar. We've been calling it the Azure Tower for whatever reason, and that's my fuck up as well, so I need to go back and correct one of the YouTube episodes as well, because it's the Azure Pillar, not the Azure Tower. But yes, he is currently sat in the room studying abjuration books galore to sort of improve and learn new spells and do various things. The two of you, in the meantime, or in the meanwhile, went adventuring through the Azure Pillar itself, and were told that you now had access to the subterranean complex that exists beneath the Azure Pillar itself, underneath the underground, where all of these crystals have sort of shot out of the ground. And last episode you spent a lot of time looking around that area to go and try and find some information, to try and figure out just what the fuck is going on in general with yourselves, with the world, and then eventually you will get to sort of more information about Artemesia and what she was investigating, what she was researching as well, which is where we will start our episode tonight. But just in terms of what else happened in the previous session, you were sort of led via Lex's innate connection to something, to a part of the library, if you like, which housed a number of artifacts, both magical and non-magical, and different items. And there was what appeared to everyone else as an inert gem or inert piece of glass. That's what was attracting Lex, but to Lex it appeared as this shining, pulsating, glowing blue object, which when Lex touched it and connected with it, the whole world, reality itself shifted, and there was a very big spatial change within the subterranean complex itself, as a new cavern, if you like, was opened up. As my phone is going nuts, let's just snooze all that. All devoted and all related to the study of chronomancy, which we are introducing into our game as of last week, as of now. So that has unlocked a few things for Lex, as they now understand this gemstone, this shard, if you like. And then, I believe, having dealt with all that and had various conversations, you are now off to go and find some more information about Artemesia and her research. Now, I did promise you that I would send you those little lore snippets about the planes and the different bits of research you'd done last time. I've not done it because I had no signal while I was away, so I could do fuck all. So I will get that to you. I promise.
So you could have got
you could have squared that one well away.
It's been nagging me. Like I knew I was going to send it to him, so I will send it to you. What I might do is just update either the campaign document or the lore document, so I've only got to do it once, and then that's there for you. I suppose what I should do is just create a new document that is
wrong last week, I imagine.
Campaign lore. Yeah, don't worry about the spelling. It's just sound out phonetically. You're all good.
In Greek, the letters are in the wrong place and stuff like that. It doesn't make sense. You spell stuff like it's Welsh.
I mean,
sometimes.
not to a Grecian person, they're not.
Well, yeah.
So, having then found this found this gemstone, this shard, whatever we're calling it. I can't even remember what I called it. It's been that long. It was a mana stone, wasn't it?
Mana stone, wasn't it?
Or a mana stone fragment, yeah.
You guys.
Cool.
I'm remembering shit.
It's a chore, I'm not going to lie. So yes, the next stop on our journey was to find some information about Artemesia and find her research. And so your escort for the previous session and this session, when I find them, Elysian Crystal Weaver, was now leading you around and sort of helping you navigate this grand library. So, is there anything anybody wishes to do in this moment in time before we sort of move on, if you like?
We're going to do that research because we did our own research last time, didn't we? Yeah.
You did your research on the planes and what it all meant, and gods and different things.
I don't think I have anything else I want to achieve. I had a pretty pivotal achievement last week, week after, week before, so I'm happy to get back on the case.
It's like that thing of, when you've been out of a video game for quite a while, and you go around doing all the little side quests and going to find all the loot, and then you're like, oh, I really need to get back on that campaign, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Or you play a game you've not played in ages and forget how the fuck to play it, like I've done the last few days, where I decided to go back to Halo Reach of all things.
Oh, nice.
The controls were all wrong. They're all wrong.
Reach was the only one where they were all wrong. They were just like, guys, you had it right.
I know.
Why did you change it?
Yeah. Good game though. Good lore. Anyway, we digress massively. So just to remind you of the research you were doing last week, there was 3 or 4 excerpts that you got, 2 of which were from a book titled Astral Journeys, A Mage's Guide to the Ethereal Realm or the Astral Realm, and Astral Enchantments, Exploring the Mysteries of Otherworldly Energies, and then there was another book which was called The Cosmic Tapestry, Unraveling the Secrets of the Multiverse. Yes.
Light reading.
These books are all old and dusty and Yeah, it smells like a very old bookshop down here, mixed with that damp and dankness you get within sort of cave structures. But as with the rest of the Azure Pillar, it is all at a very nice temperature, like very comfortable. Even the air feels cool when you breathe it in. It's not stuffy. Even though there is a smell of damp, you don't feel it. The walls don't look slimy or anything like that. You just tell you're in a cave.
Okay.
So as Elysian comes over to you then, well, now that we've dealt with this, which is still very interesting, I'm sure these folks will have an absolute field week in here, understanding what's going on and tapping into that new form of Arcana, but we should probably go find the librarian to find your information on Artemesia. They can probably find it faster than we can, just sort of looking around, so should we go find them?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I very nearly did a Dargon voice then, and I had to catch myself about 3 seconds before it. I nearly went, yeah, absolutely, let's go. It was like, whoa, no.
Well, they've got a week, and we're so going to shit.
I reverted previous campaign.
It's campaign 2, Dave, right? 2.
Thanks, just remind me every day.
Very good. So, Elysian then says, very well, follow me, and leaves at quite a brisk pace and starts weaving through these bookshelves and, I say bookshelves, they are bits of the cave walls and the cavern walls that have been carved into shelves to house books and items, so it's all stonework. And within that stonework, some places you can see sort of the blue and purple vein-like structures which indicate Wrathstrike, as I remember my own terms for stuff. And then in some ways in some places you also see the polished, smooth blue stone, which is the pure form of Wrathstrike, which is Mana Stone or Arcana Stone. I tend to call it Mana Stone. As Elysian is wandering around, they do stop for a moment and they hold their hand up. One thing, the librarian, please don't stare. They're probably not going to be what you expect. But treat them with the respect they have earned ours, and we work alongside them. So, yes.
You forewarned me not to stare. Can you fill me in on what I'm not allowed to stare at? Is it their face, their arms, do they have a head?
I mean, their eyes. Let's just say pick one, shall we?
They are not humanoid?
No.
How many eyes do they have?
It's probably best we just go and see rather than me delaying the inevitable. It will be a shock, but please get over it very quickly and then we can go about our days.
Very well.
Okay. Do they have a favourite eye that I should look at? Preference?
The middle one, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. Logical choice.
Very well. Follow me. So, there's a moment where you sort of round a few corners and walk down a long corridor and then turn immediately left and you find this sort of grand chamber, so a larger area where there's these low carved bits of rock that form almost like desks. And in the centre of this room there is a circular desk, if you like. And in the middle of this circular desk, sort of bobbing around, you see a strange creature. This spherical body adorned with these vibrant and mesmerising eye stalks, each of which pulsates with these different bits of arcane energy.
Fuck off.
As it turns around, there is this large central eye that is then surrounded by smaller eyes of varying sizes and colours. And as you sort of connect with this central eye, as you look into it, it emanates this aura of intelligence and curiosity. The irises of all these different eyes begin to constantly shift, almost reflecting just the ever-changing depths of what is quite clearly a vast amount of knowledge within this creature. its mouth widens into a very large smile, a contemplative smile, if you like. And you see a number of pointed teeth as these then eye stalks, these tentacle-like appendages that you see are not just there, not just vibrant, they themselves are adorned with intricate patterns and symbols. These all move with this sort of eerie grace. And you can actually see they are pulling books down with arcane energy, opening them and sending them to a different space. All of the while, these different eyes moving around. Despite this quite fearsome appearance, and I should say that there is a metallic sheen, if you like, to the scales on this creature. This creature does have an aura of scholarly wisdom and deep understanding. And then, rather than it speak, you hear its voice in your heads, almost. And it seems like everybody around here is this quite large booming voice surrounds, this almost sonorous voice as well. Elysian! Welcome back, my friends. It's been a while since you've been down to the library and brought friends, I see. Who might you be?
Jewel?
Have I seen a beholder before? I don't know what one is.
Make me a nature check or an arcana check, please.
I mean, that was going to be another question, yeah. Nature.
14.
14?
8.
8. Lex, you've not seen one necessarily, but you have heard of them. So you do recognise this as a beholder.
Okay. Is it customary to talk out loud, or do I talk to you in my brain?
And at this point, the mouth does now move as it then speaks. It's fine if you need to speak in more physical, mechanical manners. That's as you will. I tend to flick between the two. It's just sometimes easier. It allows me to concentrate on multiple things at once as another book flows down, opens an eye stalk, just sort of, and then flies off to another corner.
As the question to them all was what their names was, Jewel will actually reply in her head in that initial moment. It is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Jewel.
And the mouth continues to move. Jewel, very good. Lex, that probably surprises you because nothing was said out loud, but... and you are my Yuan-Ti friend.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. Hi, I'm Lex.
Lex. A pleasure. Pleasure. I am the librarian of the Azure Pillar. My name is Lorendrax. Some have given me titles such as the All-Seeing, but Lorendrax is fine. Perfectly fine. I assume you come here looking for knowledge.
Yes, we come to seek Artemesia's work.
Dave, I don't know if it's...
no, I did that so that it looked like I wasn't speaking.
Don't
Boom!
do that to
I
me.
can do that!
My brain's not ready for that sort of thing, Dave.
No. So,
I got a button.
very good.
Look how fucking smuggy isn't that as well?
Artemesia. Oh, yes. Yeah, I did hear of her passing. I assume you are the investigators brought in to understand her demise.
That is us.
Very good. Very good.
We are hoping that her work is going to allow us to find the culprits, as she clearly was impeding on whatever they were working on, and they were trying to keep it hidden.
Yeah.
So, you'll be wanting their latest works, then. Fantastic. Bear with me just 1 second, and there is a... as this spherical creature just disappears. Well, I warned you he was something.
You did.
That was
Or they, I should say.
unexpected. I was half
Yes.
expecting a giant spider, but this was I didn't calculate for this.
No. I mean, we do have some drow initiates, but yes, spiders are not often found down here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was asking you a question in my head. Oh dear, that is very confusing. I shall stick to normal words.
Probably best to speak out loud.
How long has this creature been the librarian?
Lorendrax has been here longer than the Archmage themselves.
So longer than the 30 years? This was when...
Oh, much longer, yes. They've been here as long as the pillars sort of been here and the structure,
yes.
So...
I forget that the structure and pillar was here long before the 30 years. This has simply been the most magical time for you.
Yes, so 30 years ago there was the surge in the ley lines, and I forget you don't know the history of the pillar, so it was always built atop a convergence, if you like, where multiple ley lines meet. It's one of the strongest in NOF, and as that surged, the mana crystals in the area instantly grew and shot up, and all sorts of magic was accessible again, much more powerful. I myself was, well, I was something of a mediocre war mage, to be honest, but my powers are now amplified to the point where I am warden of the pillar.
I suppose as
Or
much
one
as
of them, at least.
all of you have been gracious of the power, I am sure there are many who have abused it since then.
Yeah.
We tend to police it quite well down here. If anybody seems to be going a little bit too far, they are adequately disciplined.
Oh, I do not mean just here. I mean throughout.
Oh, yes,
the
of
world.
course. I expect there will be people that have taken this power and the immensity of it, and yes, they are doing nefarious things with it, no doubt. Perhaps that is why Artemesia is at their end.
That is what I was thinking.
Yeah. Actually, well, while I think on it, has anybody been exiled or sent away from here for misusing it while they studied here in recent time? That could
Make me a
coincide
persuasion
with.
check, please.
Oh. 25. Have some of that.
Well, I suppose there was one individual who was... Yes, they were banished, actually, for dabbling in things they really shouldn't have done. Her name was Mayanora.
And what did they do wrong? Were they dark
We don't
magic?
tend to... Well, dark magic like magic, we don't tend to differentiate too much around here, of course. So, for example, necromancy exists, and as long as it is used in the right way, then there's no necessary issues with it. We sort of welcome all forms of magic, but there are certain types that need to be governed, policed. Blood magic is one of them. She was messing around with that and became somewhat obsessed, so we had to banish her from the pillar, and who knows where she went from there.
I don't suppose the blood magic you speak of has anything to do with what you have heard from us. There is no connection you can think of?
I'm not aware of blood magic having anything to do with sort of extraplanar energies or shadows or anything like that. No, it's more just... It's a lot about damage and control and all these... Yes, it's more about doing harm.
Thank you. I have limited knowledge, so I do not know what may or may not be the connections there. Can chat do a history check?
I think I've done the history check.
Absolute legend.
For anyone not on Twitch, our chat has just made a connection that we've been too busy to think about. Thank you, chat. I'll leave that one for you, Lex.
Well, I'm now the master of time and space, so obviously I remember everything now. So as long as the dice allows me to.
Honestly, the next thing you need is keen mind, and then we're all good.
Well, given that, Lex, make me a history check.
Oh, fucking hell, there we go.
It's going to be a 1 and we don't remember it.
It's a 9.
It's a 9. No, I'm not giving it to you.
No, you can't on that. That's bad.
Oh. I was hoping the person would match the description you gave in your visions, Jewel, the hooded figure with the crooked nose.
Oh no,
that was
the
a
figure
male,
you've
right?
described is nothing like Mayanora. She was a very beautiful elven woman, actually. Attracted a lot of intrigue from, well, many individuals within the circle, but unfortunately was, well, I can only assume she was plotting somebody's downfall.
Sorry to ask, when was this? Many years ago?
No, it was 2? Less than that? It's within the last couple of years, for sure.
Lex, I do not think that we can ignore this piece of information. I do not know that it is. It could well be a sidetrack, but.
Can I try and remember? You know, the receptionist I keep giving Cass a stick about for shagging?
Mm-hmm.
Was she a really sexy elven woman?
Make me a history check, please.
16.
Yes.
Oh! Ironically, the nose I just made is the same nose Cass just made.
Oh, it's good to be back.
A highly attractive elven woman is the same type of, granted, most elven women are quite attractive, but you know the receptionist that Karsus lay with, the receptionist at Artemesia's.
Oh, yes, the one who let me in to where Artemesia was. Yes, she was. She was an elven
Her name
woman.
was.
That's a very good question.
Pulls up her notes.
The name might be, well, if it's the same person, the name's obviously a fake. Do you happen to have a drawing or a rendering or a picture of a?
No, I'm afraid when somebody gets exiled, they are well and truly exiled. All record of them is stripped.
Okay, hang on. Have we got anything in my notes?
And didn't
Janus? But that was the understudy of Artemesia. Extremely loud
didn't
paper.
also the Archmage say, because we talked about the receptionist lady and he said he couldn't find her, couldn't see her, which either means she's powerful to evade or so insignificant he hasn't known she's not important enough to know. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm putting too many twos together.
And getting 42, yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Can Jewel do a history check to see if she remembers her name? Let's do it that way because I'm great at reading as a heavily dyslexic man. No, Jewel probably can't either. Bear with while I find the official number. History of 12.
12 is enough. You would remember that the receptionist's name was Mayon.
Mayon, which is why we thought it was an M. Which is why we thought it was an M.
We've cracked the case.
Okay, that's going right
that's
down.
Short. That's short for Maynor, isn't it?
Was it Mayom? May.
Also,
Mayon.
it's also a condiment.
Maeon.
Mayon.
And then Mayanora is that with ORA on the end.
Oh, the spellings are even similar.
Oh, shocker! Would you look at that?
As you're all discussing this, then there is just this. Well, I've got you the two latest of Artemesia's releases, her manuscripts. I figured these would be of interest. Is there anything particular you were looking for within these? I'm sorry, you all look very deep in thought. Did I interrupt a core memory?
More a revelation.
Potentially had a crack in the case.
Oh, very good. So you don't need the books.
Yes, we do.
Oh, no, definitely need the book. I don't know why I turned it.
And apparently, I turned into someone that is not Jewel at all. It's probably an old
into
bloke.
Rudy.
Yes, I turned into Rudy. Absolutely turned. Yes, no, absolutely, no, please.
The astral plane is fucking with Jewel quite a bit today. Just thrum, thrum, thrum.
Can that be the voice of your astral self?
Yeah. That is the voice of the Phantom whenever it comes out. Like, hello, snap. You know.
Do you mind if I stab you?
I do apologise. No.
The most polite
Sidetracked.
Phantom game.
Oh, dear.
Very good. Well, the two books we have here, the latest of Artemesia's sort of manuscripts, if you like, before she left, and a very, very thick leather tome is laid down in front of you, and on the front you see a title in common that reads Beyond the Veil, Exploring the Boundaries of Reality. And then the other book, which is slightly smaller, is laid down next to it, and it's sort of this orange and green bound leather. And this one's got a title of The Cosmic Tapestry, Unraveling the Secrets of the Multiverse. The first one says at the bottom, Artemesia Theodora, I think was her last name.
Calaniera?
No, Calionera. I'm thinking of a totally different character.
Somewhere very far away, Kirik is saying, "Protect the veil." Protect the veil.
From Artemesia.
So yes, it was Artemesia Calionera. So it says by a Calionera, and then on the second book, the smaller orange and green book, there are two sets of initials. There are AC and VS.
Oh, you missed an opportunity there.
VS, that's my microphone. Alright, let's have a look. May we take these away and read them in the library?
You are welcome to use one of the desks. I will be here, but if you have any questions, then please ask. Be careful of your thoughts, is all I'll say. As much as I try not to pry, it's difficult not to skim surface thoughts here and there.
In Jules' head, she then says, Lorendrax, may I ask you a rather open question? And I apologize.
3 eye stalks just... And in your head you hear, by all means.
What was Artemesia's character? Was she good inherently?
In terms of her work, yes, it was all there with a need to understand the world around her.
She was not pushing the boundaries in a improper way.
Not by our standards. She was there trying to understand the fabric of the universe, the multiple universes that she theorized, and the multiple planes that there are. I, of course, am not native to this one. I'm sure you've figured that one out. But Nothing she ever did caused any harm. The reason she left was because the inherent nature of this place meant it was difficult to do such research. It caused anomalies and erroneous readings.
And what, if I may be impertinent, would you say about Mayanora?
Oh. You have heard of Blood Mage, then?
Yes. We are prying, very much, but we are trying to solve this mystery.
Discovered and delved into magics that were very dark, very dangerous. In doing so, did cause harm to another. Didn't kill them, but almost. And so she was banished. Stripped of her titles, of her rank, and banished beyond this island, never to return.
Would anyone here, including Mayanora, know of magic able to hide them from Master Alaric?
Master Alaric's sight is very powerful indeed, but there are magics that can hide someone almost indefinitely. Simple magic, simple charms that can be worn, or simple spells that can be cast on a daily basis. And of course, if one is of the right level of will, you can combat anybody trying to, well, divine you anyway.
Thank you. That is as much as I can think of at the moment.
You are most welcome.
And you are most gracious.
Please, study.
Do any of you two know who VC might be on this book? Who was working with Artemesia on this book?
VS, you mean?
Yep, that's what I meant. Thank you.
You got mixed up with your own. I want it to be DC.
Yep, 100%.
I feel like I should know, but I'm afraid no.
Ah, okay.
Perhaps they were working with someone from another academy, for want of a better word. I'm sorry, I know you're not in the academy.
It could be someone that is not within this sect of the circle, perhaps from the kingdom to the east, or maybe from across Ardalia and other places. That is certainly possible, or perhaps it is a mage that is unaffiliated with us altogether. Who knows?
Let us hope the papers go into more detail.
Indeed.
Right, let's go sit down, and I pick the first book, the top one.
Okay, so you pick the big, thick tome, which was Artemesia's own book. As I say, it's titled Beyond the Veil, Exploring the Boundaries of Reality. Make me an investigation check, please.
Ooh, righty-ho. Let's have a look at... Just double-checking, because I don't think I have...
Is there anything specific you are searching for? Any specific words, as that may impact the result?
Okay, so first of all, is this the one that was with VES?
No, it's the other one.
The contraption, any... if she does note down having any issues with it in this one, and if they did manage to connect to any particular other plane. That's the word.
Okay. Roll with advantage then, please.
Oh, okay. Grab that. Cool. Investigation. Oh, beautiful. 21.
21. you flick through sort of various pages, and there's a lot of equations and scientific method mixed with the arcane here, and a lot of it goes over your head. No offense to Jewel there, being one of no arcane knowledge whatsoever, realistically.
She's more trying to see patterns in stuff, noting stuff down. She doesn't want to scribble on it, so she's noting stuff down on her own paper next to it.
What you do eventually find is reference to that machine, the orrery. You find a specific passage, which almost looks as if it was a side note or a box out from all of the other equations and theoretical knowledge that is there. And it reads, and it's almost like you hear Artemesia's voice in your head. As I delve deeper into the mysteries of the multiverse, I am confronted with the inherent fragility of our perceived reality. Our world, our Dahlia, a mere sliver of the vast cosmic tapestry, is but a single facet of a grander design. The boundaries that define our existence are tenuous at best, and the multiverse beckons us to transcend these limitations and embrace the boundless possibilities that lie beyond. The orrery, my faithful companion in this cosmic odyssey, serves as a conduit for my understanding of the interplay between planes. Its intricate gears and celestial models guide my explorations, shedding light on the connections that bind disparate realms. Through its meticulously calibrated mechanisms, I have glimpsed the subtle interactions and harmonies that underpin the fabric of reality. Yet as I uncover the secrets of the multiverse, I cannot help but feel the weight of a looming darkness. Whispers of ancient entities, guardians of forbidden knowledge, reverberate through the depths of my consciousness. They remind me that the pursuit of cosmic truths comes at a cost, for there are forces that seek to preserve the delicate balance and guard the secrets that lie beyond mortal comprehension. But I am undeterred. I shall press onward, driven by an insatiable curiosity to unravel the mysteries of existence itself. The multiverse beckons, and I, the intrepid explorer, shall dare to venture where others fear to tread. The answers await, shimmering on the fringes of perception, ready to be unveiled by those bold enough to seek them.
In reading that, can Jewel get an understanding as to whether Artemesia is referencing the multiverse as the planes, or whether she believes that the planes themselves that we talk about and have diagrams of are one of those universes, and there are multiples of those? I.e., is she talking about the shadow in between or something? Is that the astral plane, or is that she's talking on another level entirely?
Make me an intelligence check then, please.
Straight intelligence. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So you sort of look over this passage and you read it a couple of times. You get an idea that maybe the planes are part of this thing she calls the multiverse. It's not to say that the different planes are separate in terms of different universes, but actually it's almost like she refers to the material plane as one of many, whereas the other planes are almost singular in nature, if that makes sense.
Oh, right. So she was also trying to break the fabric between our material plane and other material planes.
Yeah, between different realities almost.
And if I go back to, because I still have the a drawing of what I found in one of the previous books, I don't get any idea that the previous artist or author had planned that. So, like, looking in that big picture, there was nothing where it shows multiple material planes in the middle.
No, so you've got the sort of the diagram of the Great Wheel cosmology.
Great in the center. Yeah, right in the center was the material plane, and then below it, shadow.
So you would find a similar diagram here, where it almost shows multiple wheels behind each other.
Right. Yeah. Damn. Cool. Comprehensive notes on all of that knowledge.
Very good. Lex, would you like to investigate the other book?
Yeah, so Jules got the one by AC and VS.
No, you've got the one by AC and VS.
Okay. So the first thing I'm going to try and figure out is, does it mention in any of the credits or any of the book who VS is?
Make me an investigation check, please.
Come on, be good. 16.
No. Initials are the only thing that are ever used throughout this whole book, even when referring to herself.
Cock. Okay. So Dave's got the multiverse one. That means I've got the...
Well, so Jewel had the book titled Beyond the Veil, Exploring the Boundaries of Reality.
Oh, I've got the tapestry.
You have got the book titled
one.
The Cosmic Tapestry, Unraveling the Secrets of the Multiverse.
So I'm assuming, Dave, Jewel, have you read out loud or told me what that book says?
No, I'd probably say we're probably doing it concurrently at the moment.
Okay. So what I will be looking for then is if there's a multiverse. Now I'm unlocking my vision of time, fate, Chronos, and all that sort of stuff. I'll be looking for within that. Does she mean, is there different timelines? Can there be parallel me's, us's? Anything to do with time and space manipulation, really?
Make me an investigation check with... Make me an investigation check and add 4 onto the result, please.
8.
There's a lot of nonsense in here. Yes, you have started to delve into this idea of what time means, but there's a lot of... I don't want to belittle Lex by saying this, but there's a lot of big words in here and complicated theories, and it almost just overwhelms you for a moment.
Yeah.
I will allow you to take a deep breath and do it again.
Oh, I still having 4?
Yes.
20.
Very good. You filter through this, and while you don't find any mention of time as such, you do find a almost similar passage to the one that Jules found, not that you know that yet. But you also find one that talks around celestial bodies and infinite realms. And again, I will read it out as if you hear Artemesia's voice in your head. In our relentless pursuit of knowledge, we've turned our gaze towards the vast and intricate tapestry of the multiverse. The very concept of multiple planes of existence intertwined, each with its own unique laws and inhabitants, has fascinated scholars and mages for centuries. Through our research, we aim to pierce the veil of the unknown and uncover the truths that lie beyond our mortal comprehension. The multiverse, a sprawling cosmic network of planes, holds countless mysteries and wonders waiting to be unveiled. A labyrinth of possibilities where infinite realms exist parallel to our own, each with its own rules, inhabitants, and different manifestations of magic. To traverse these planes is to navigate through a vast sea of realities, each one a thread in the tapestry of existence. With the aid of my orrery, a marvel of arcane engineering, we have sought to map the connections between these planes, charting the cosmic currents that bind them together. The celestial bodies within the orrery dance in perfect harmony, representing the interplay of energies and forces that shape the multiverse. Through careful observation and meticulous study, we strive to decipher the intricate patterns and understand the underlying mechanisms that govern the multiversal tapestry. However, the path to uncovering the secrets of the multiverse is fraught with perils. Forces beyond our comprehension lurk in the shadows, seeking to guard the knowledge that lies beyond our mortal reach. My research has not gone unnoticed. I find myself facing unforeseen obstacles and threats. V tells me not to worry, but I fear he is becoming too accustomed to these whispers. Regardless, I shall not waver in my quest, for the pursuit of truth is the very essence of our existence. And again,
You said V was becoming accustomed to listening to the whispers, did you say?
She theorised that V was perhaps becoming accustomed to the whispers and therefore didn't see a threat. So as you both mulling over this, Lorendrak sort of hovers behind you. Complicated stuff, isn't it?
Yes, a lot of these equations are well above my head. However, she had, work very much on the boundaries of everything, as far as I can understand.
Yes, well... Sorry, carry on.
She was literally trying to unpick the threads of the material plane. I can't quite wrap my head around it.
She was trying to understand our current perceived reality and seeing past even the other planes to multiple versions of our reality, if I'm reading it right.
It was one of her theories, yes. She once tried to explain it. It's complicated, but from what I understand, we have the planes and this plane, Far Realm, for example, where I'm from, and these different places that all intertwine together. There are the boundaries, but one, if they find the right gap or tear, can traverse. She theorized that actually, if you view that as moving laterally, or vertically, shall we say, one might also move horizontally between almost these... No, that's not right. Do you know what? It's very complicated. I think it's more like actually one could move vertically and horizontally, but actually this added depth. Does that make sense?
No.
Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one that was lost by this theory.
What I found quite interesting in my book was she talked about a perceived threat to her research and whispers and guardians of the knowledge she was trying to obtain.
There is very similar in this, Lex. There is also the looming darkness, which, considering our interactions, I think is possibly not just a phrase. I am still a little lost because, yes, she does talk about this, there's a fabric, the connections, there's something in between. And again, maybe I'm thinking too three-dimensionally. I always, well, not always. An hour ago, I learned this. The astral plane is more the stuff between. Sorry, the astral sea is more around all the other planes. That did not seem.
It's the stuff in between, yes.
Yes. So, is that not where she was trying to get to? I mean, forgive me, I managed to accidentally end up there. You know, it does not seem that hard. Or is that not where she was looking?
I was not privy to all of her ruminations and hypotheses. The astral sea presents an interesting transition point, or traversal point between different planes. This, from what I understood, was her understanding the nature of what binds, but also are there more possibilities beyond just that which we are aware of?
Lex, I know this is crazy, but I believe she was almost trying to find an astral sea to our current set of planes. Almost an astral sea to the astral sea. It is quite the... As a Zatra, I completely missed it wrong, and there's always a missing naught somewhere in these equations. It's quite possible.
Well,
Her deviation might be wrong here, is all I'll say.
So when she's in this book, she talks about celestial bodies, infinite realms, the like parallel realms. It's the same as the realm we're in now, but with its own inhabitants, its own rules, its own laws, its own magic.
Yes. And this is what she theorized, like that there were...
Primus, Mechanus, or astral plane, or the ethereal plane, an actual same plane as us, just alongside ours.
Well,
somehow.
It's not to say that... Again, I know very little, but it's not to say that she didn't theorize that in a parallel universe, I guess, there were not other versions of Mechanus, or maybe it's that the other planes are all linked and the same, but there are parallel materials, I guess. It's all very confusing.
Yeah, can Jewel do a check of some kind? You can determine which one.
What would you like to do?
What she knows about where the fuck Nylin went.
Ooh.
Oh!
Make me a history check, please.
History's a bit garbage. Why can I never find history? There.
They're in alphabetical order, aren't they?
Yeah, and that really doesn't help me. Crazy. However, it's pretty good. 23, I'll take it.
23. So the stories of Nylin are varied and ever-changing, with obviously certain stories coming out of the kingdom and then people twisting it to make it more fantastical, make it even more interesting than it actually was. Your understanding is that Nylin was shunted somewhere. It didn't exist in this world anymore, and actually trying to get there meant a lot of people went missing and were never found.
Okay, can I now see if Artemesia mentions in this book the word Nylin? I'm literally looking for that.
Make me an investigation.
Control F.
Yeah. Control F, search all, click next, find out, make sure, is it capitalised or uncapitalised? Oh, fuck's sake. 11. That's appalling.
You flick through, and bearing in mind this book's fairly large. You sort of flick through and flick through and flick through. Nyland's a small word. It's difficult to find anything that jumps out, so to speak.
Lorendrex, was Artemesia ever doing any... did she ever visit Nylin once it returned?
The Restored Kingdom. I believe she did once, yes. She went to visit the circle that exists on their eastern coast. Idril, I believe it was.
It was, not...
Danny's face just twitching.
It was not bedtime stories and all of this, but I know that it is heavily connected with the magic returning here. But I seem to recall people saying when they tried to travel there prior to 30 years ago, they were never found again. It was simply not here. Whereas, as far as I understand, hard as it may be, you can travel to the other planes, just difficultly. So, surely she did find that interesting?
I'm sure she did. Maybe it factored into her research. I'm unaware of discussions that were had there. I mean, if you think it's pertinent to your investigations, then perhaps you should head there yourselves. But,
well, how far back did she visit? Place?
How far back? Well, obviously it's less than 30 years ago. Wasn't here prior to that. Or it was, and then it wasn't, and now it is, and anyway.
Back in the room.
I think it was about 10 years ago, decades, very early on before she started having these
this was before she
theories.
Yes, this was before she left to do her own research.
Oh yes, very much so, very much so. That was in the last sort of 8 or so years. So yes, I would say probably around 10 years ago, a visit to Nylin. I'm told it's a fascinating kingdom.
Yes.
Let's go to Nylin.
Yes. Teleportation circle one way, please. Jewel will write down just Nylin question mark in all of her notes about Artemesia then. Where did it go? So, Lex, there is no mention with the tapestry. There is no mention of Nylin in what you have previously read. I do not want you searching through, but
let me check actually. Yeah, is there an index at the back? With Nylin on the end?
Make me an investigation check, please.
Did you mean Forgotten Kingdom or something?
11.
Like Jewel, Nylin's a small word, and there are lots of words in this book, and it's difficult in a quick flick through to try and find that exact word.
You keep saying null and void and going, oh no, it's not.
Yeah.
No.
Or nigh and yeah.
It's bugging me who this VS might be.
I think it's interesting. Very interesting.
Is there a way to look up records of mages who have stayed here around the time Artemesia was here? Did she leave with anybody in particular? I feel like
she left with her apprentice.
Whose name was?
I knew you were going to do that to me because my notebook is behind me.
Well, it's clearly not VS then.
Victor
I mean,
Smith.
yeah.
Victor Smith.
Yes. Bear with me just a second because I knew that was going to be the one thing I needed to know.
You are welcome. That's going to literally disappear.
Danny, can you remember the name of the it was the Helenthal Lyceum, wasn't it? That was where Artemesia was. So we need to find out if they have knowledge of that. But again, it's like we need to go back there to find out who was there, and they'll arrest us immediately.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And this VS bloke could be the bloke with the crooked nose.
Also, the elven woman may be able to just change her appearance.
True.
But you're right, it could be VS. Could be, because VS was listening to the voices and was quite happy with it. And it was a friend.
And it's dark, yeah.
Bish bash bosh. Yeah,
And he would
listening
know how
to the voices.
Interfere.
Yeah.
He'd know how to interfere with her machine when he's calling the shadows across.
Yeah. And would absolutely know. Okay, done. Solved it, right. Cool. Bring on the end of campaign.
And we need to find that mayonnaise woman.
So, yes. Oh, her apprentice was Jane. Jane Shadowthorn.
Does that name ring a bell to any of us?
Well, it's not fucking V, so I don't suppose.
Natural 20.
Oh, hello.
No.
Never heard of a Jane in my life.
Nope. But I will say that you do now remember that the spell book that was found by yourself, which you then touched the other book, said JS on the front.
What, in the cave?
Lex.
Under the temple leap thing?
Yep. Like episode 3, yeah.
Fuck!
The diary next to the other orrery.
Oh!
The diary was from JS.
It's episode 4. I've got that written down.
And she's called Shadowthorn, so she's clearly shady as fuck, right?
Excuse me, my name is Shadows.
Case in point.
Touché.
Your accent has slipped, Lex.
That meditation's doing you fuck all at the moment.
I was talking out of character.
Lex.
So I'm going to take this moment as we break. I'm going to check in on chat. Is everybody okay? Have we confused everybody? Do we need a moment?
I mean,
gone down the rabbit hole.
Put your hand up if you're confused. Let's do that right now.
I need a board with loads of red string.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Oh man. What did Jane Shadowthorn look like? Could you describe them?
Yes, she was a fairly young girl. She'd probably only been with us, maybe 8 years or so. I think she was around 17 years in age by, human standards. She was human. Black hair, sort of quite long black hair. She had a small little curve to her nose, green eyes, pale skin.
Jewel and Lex are just like staring at each other, just over.
Did she have a nose like Gonzo from the Muppets? If so, that's the woman you want.
So I'm going to ask Jules, seeing as you were the individual that spotted this other individual, make me a history check, but with advantage, please.
What's my history? I've done it that many times I can't remember. 23.
23. The description is similar, not exact. Similar. The person you saw was very distinctly male.
Yeah.
Had sort of masculine energy.
Down to kids, doesn't it? That's an hereditary nose.
And they did have a very pronounced crooked nose.
It was Snape, basically.
That's kind of who I based it off, to be honest. Yeah, in my mind, it was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she was quite pretty by humanoid standards, I guess, or at least I was told. Elysian's going to chime up at this point. Yes, she was a charming young girl. I'm assuming she wasn't in Thalissa while you were there.
Well,
At this point, I wouldn't know.
the individual, who, firstly, we met next to the other contraption under the temple, and also in a vision I saw in my dreams last night. I know this is out there. Was the one who was with Artemesia right before they died. It is very similar,
But no.
the description. However, who we met under the temple was male. However, like I said, such a similar description as to what you have just said. It cannot be a coincidence. Also,
Well,
VS
individuals
was
can describe. Yes, sorry, VS.
Yes, there was a diary in that room with VS inscribed on the front. Again, I mean, as you say, one can disguise themselves. Often, perhaps.
Oh, it's not beyond the realms of the possible, I assume.
Lex, your the book there. Does it give any pronouns that Artemesia would often use about VS, or is it they?
She mentions he. When he was listening to the voices, the whispers.
Then, how is this possible? You have a female JS who left as an understudy, and a JS male who was working with Artemesia.
VS.
I mean, Yes, I think you're getting confused. There was the Jane, her apprentice, who went with her to Thalissa, and then there's this VS.
Family relation, you think, Lex?
There's certainly a line of inquiry I want to delve a bit more into.
Okay, so we need to track down this JS who left with Artemesia, find out who VS is, and we would like to try and see the receptionist, who perhaps is also your missing... No, not Photoshop.
Maynora.
That's not what I want. Maynora.
Missing Photoshop.
I'm sorry. I just brought up my my artwork. I will just roll that up. My bad.
It's very impressive.
It is a lighting rig. It is not very.
Do you think...
You have,
I've just been checking my law document, and Lex does know from stories while he was in Primus about the age of creation. Was anything ever mentioned about creating more than one world?
There's a lot of them tonight. Make me another history check, this time with advantage, please.
Oh man, that's going to be a level of exhaustion coming in 5 minutes. Well, that's to the players.
I got a 22.
Ooh, beauty.
22. You have sort of snapshots of knowledge around the different ages that existed or that have happened in Ardalia's timeline. The age of creation itself, you understand to be the age in which the world was shaped, the age in which it was formed, if you like. So, it supposedly occurred after the gods defeated the primordial titans, is what you understand. And it's when the gods began to exert their own will across Ardalia, created the first mortal races, but also there were still elements or remnants of those elemental beings that bled into that creation or creationist energy and formed other races. So not only the mortal races, but things like giants were born, and that's sort of how you understand the age of creation.
Okay.
It's when chaos became order, if you like.
Lex's favourite time.
Yes, that's why it was such a good bedtime story for me.
Got to that bit and he was sound asleep.
You would also know, with a 22, that the age of creation is, for those that have the knowledge, known as the second age of Ardalia.
First age was dinosaurs.
I do have the first age, but I'm not going to give you that. Oh, do I give you this, though?
Yes,
Yes.
With a 22.
100%.
I mean, you can roll high if he wants. Just 26.
I'll roll
there you go.
persuasion if you want. For you to tell me.
But don't roll low.
Just PayPal you a tenner.
Donating Molten Magic, £10.
Given that knowledge, and you know that it was the second age of Ardalia, you would understand that we are currently in the third age. To take a page straight out of Tolkien's book. Didn't realise that when I did it, but we are in the third age of Ardalia. Thus began the third age of Middle-earth.
A wizard is never late.
Has anybody seen that meme going around where you add the word fucking to like a famous line from Lord of the Rings? It's quite funny. If you've not seen it, go check it out. A wizard is never late. He arrives precisely when he fucking means to. Fantastic. Yes, we digress. Okay, anything else we wish to do? Lorendrax is sort of hovering and sort of... Are you finished with the books, then?
Have you got all the notes you need, Jewel?
All the ones I believe are pertinent. Yes. I suppose they are not going anywhere. We can always come back to them.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. I
Thank
think
you. You've been most helpful.
Yes. In fact, just as helpful as these books.
Well, I'm glad. This is why I'm the librarian, and probably why I have certain titles.
You must
Very
get
good.
through a lot of books.
Yes, well, I've got these to sort and those to put back, and then this to investigate, and they start...
Then we will not keep you.
Can I ask you a personal question before we leave?
Yes.
If you're known as the All-Seeing, does that mean you see more than the Archmage can see?
Oh, no. It's more of a... I think the phrase you would use is tongue-in-cheek. I just happen to have
because you've got
seen
lots of eyes.
most of the books, and yes, lots of eyes.
Right.
It's,
Okay.
it's a play on words.
Right. Okay. A play at humor. I thought it meant you were quite omnipotent, so I was going to ask you a follow-up question, but it's not relevant now.
I take it at no point is the librarian looking at like this random passing wizard and his, book just drops from the floor because he's in an anti-magic field.
No, so what you would note, the anti-magic field doesn't seem to be on, so to speak. It's almost like they've shut that off. But you do notice that the other eye stalks are all like looking in various different places. Jewel, as you close one or your book,
It wails.
your finger lingers on two words. Astral plane, and as the book is closed, your fingers just sort of drag across those words, and there is a breath of energy that sweeps through this room and around you. And it settles itself around your cloak and your cape. Lex, immediately, whatever hairs you have across your body stand on end, as there's almost like this static energy, and you see Lorendrax just sort of jump back, and Elysian stand up and draw a almost like a crystal blade that seems to have appeared out of nowhere. And Jewel, you just feel yourself wrapped in this arcane energy that feels somewhat familiar. And as that happens, we're going to take a short break.
Oh, you little bugger.
What?
Oh, I need to know what that is.
Everybody on a little bit of a hang.
I need to know what that is. Hey, at least it's better doing it now than at the end of the episode.
True.
Yeah, indeed.
That's very true.
All right, well, running to go and get a drink and then coming back.
Yes, indeed. So we will play the advert from Homie and the Dude again. Please go and support that Kickstarter. As I say, it is now live, so go and pay them some money, get yourself the book, or however they're releasing it, get the shipbuilder, everything that's going on there, and we will hopefully get some of those mechanics in game soon.
That was Ship Builder for anyone else who was listening.
Yes,
Ship Builder.
Builder. We're not building ships.
Dirty minds. All right, see you all in a minute.
Very good. See you in a few. I couldn't keep a straight face, Dave. I'm sorry. I really couldn't.
So annoyed. Sorry, I've still got the aircon on. Hang on.
I was going to say, for those not playing the home game, obviously the boys have been having a discussion around what the fuck is going on and who's who. I think the question that was asked off screen was, "Oh, Matt's just going to give us a load of people beginning with V now." I was like, "Have I not already?" And then Dave's apparently had an epiphany that we needed to come back for. So here we go.
Yeah. This was immediately straight back because I was like, "Well, maybe I'll just read the list in my OneNotes of important people. Oh, I'll just start with the first one I see. Here goes." I could be entirely wrong here, but it simply says Vane, and it says uncle to Jane. And it says dark magics and blood magics, and that is literally what it says in my notes. They are the worst notes in the world, but that has literally just connected the whole thing, and stop laughing so hard, Matt.
Right, they are simultaneously the best and worst notes I've ever heard in my life.
They are so concise, it is exactly what we need to know, and it doesn't connect to anything else that we're aware of.
Well, there you go.
So I think we found VS, Danny.
Now you've got to figure that out in character.
Where did you find out Vane and Jane from?
I don't know. I don't remember this stuff. Hang on. If right,
how far ago in your? Can you not date the entry?
I can. I was literally just about to say that I created this page on the 6th of February 2023 at 10:30. If someone can go and find that particular video, it would be exactly when we were talking about it.
I date my notes.
Hang on, right? We're really skipping the fourth wall here. I'm gonna jump into my back
6th of February was episode 6.
There we go. Right, 10:30 is right at the end of it.
The Feline Fugitive.
Episode 6. That was 3 pens ago. That's how many I've got pens.
Wow, that's impressive.
That was 2 deaths ago for you, Jewel.
Thanks for that. Yeah, it's great to be counting via deaths.
The irony is, right, these are all my fucking bastard notes. I've got loads of them. When you actually ask me to remember stuff, I'm like, well, that was about 25 pages ago.
You need to digitise it. This is why I've put everything in a certain note-taking platform now that I can just find. Boom.
I keep telling myself I will, but it's a toss-up between I can write quicker and Dave gets annoyed at my typing.
So do it afterwards.
He always sends me messages going, "You're typing really fucking loud."
No, I don't say that. I just, so that you're aware of why I've pressed the mute button.
I mean, you do hammer the shit out of the keyboard, Danny, and you've got a fucking Mac keyboard, so it's silent.
No, the more frantic I get about my notes, I just end up going, ah!
Oh, man.
Oh, well, welcome to part 2, folks.
Oh, yeah, welcome back.
We are so organised. We're professionals at this.
I mean, what you've just done with your notes there is about the epitome of every D&D player in the TTRPG community.
Hey, I don't need to know how it connects. That's for other people to do. I've taken my notes and they work. So I just need to do mic.
Very good.
What we've just done is validate
that was out of character, is all I'm going to say.
It was. I'm going to have to try and remember it, though, to find out when Joel remembers it.
It's all good. Excellent. So, we have Jewel has just stroked a word on a page, and there was an enormous amount of energy that has just surrounded them. Jewel, make me a wisdom check, please.
A wisdom check.
Yeah, please.
Just trying to find my wisdom check. Okay, no, all right. 14. Yes.
14, very good. As this energy surrounds you then, and you feel it sort of settle around your cape, your cloak, you hear the faintest of whispers in sort of this arcane wind that just speaks a very simple phrase: to help you in your endeavours. And the cloak that you wear, the red cloak that had already infused itself with the cloak of elvenkind, shifts and changes and stays red, but as it moves in the wind, there is now this ethereal quality to it. Very quickly
After that moment, I will say, Lorendrax, did you hear that as well? In my head.
Sorry, did I hear what?
No.
I was more fascinated with this seemingly second bout of random magic surrounding the two of you.
I say this then out loud. I believe that was the Watcher. Keeping
the Watcher. And who's the Watcher when they're at home?
an highly powerful being from the astral sea, I believe.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, now I see why you're researching this and how it aligns. Well, good luck to you. And Lorendrax just picks up the books and goes over to their desk and starts flicking books around, just like, and they've turned their back on you at this point, almost like, nope, not having anything to do with that one. Gonna leave that where it is, and I'm out.
I turn to our ward. It is okay. There is nothing to harm you.
Well, I assumed if it was going to harm us, then it would have done. There's a very nice glow to that cloak now. Subtle.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what gift has he bestowed upon you?
I do not know. So I'll unclip the cloak and bring it round so I can see it properly.
Okay. So you see the cloak itself it's still that red colour, but it's almost like that the material has changed drastically. There's almost like this ethereal nature to the cloak now. The cloak sort of shimmers with this soft, otherworldly glow. Almost when you look at it in certain moments, it's almost like it's translucent. It feels very delicate and almost weightless. You can feel the magic. Although you aren't magical in yourself, you aren't attuned to any form of arcane or divine power, you can feel this power within it.
Oh, well, I do not know what they have given me or done, but it is definitely to my cloak. This is very different. I am not learned in the arcane, so I do not know anything as to what they may have done.
It's interesting when you move it like that. You can almost just... It's almost like there's an illusion of starlight.
You say starlight. That was a lot of the visions I was seeing as a watcher. Starlight in the eyes, and that would match. I am sorry, I'm still very new at this. An unfortunate and I suppose untimely demise of myself. I came back with some weird connection to the watcher. I am still not quite sure how I feel about it.
Well, whatever your connection, they're sending you gifts. I can assume.
Yes. Be wary of gifts, you know.
I believe the singers don't look a gift
on
horse
the
in
contrary,
mouth.
there's...
That is
I
the
was
one,
about to say
Lex.
exactly the same thing, Lex.
Yeah.
You know, someone sends you gifts and then suddenly you owe them something.
Well, not everything is a tit-for-tat situation. You can just receive a gift. Unlike other people you may have dealt with in the past. Although, remains to be seen. I understand why you're cautious.
Yes, anyway, as long as neither of you believe it is inherently dangerous to myself or any of you, then
I can do a little bit of quick identification, if you like. It's one thing I can do.
Then by all means, I do not wish to waste your skills. However, I think on a security level, I would not mind.
By all means. Oh, looks like somebody's playing around with wind magic again.
I got hot.
I love how Dave and I both went, was that mine?
Well, yeah, because because the aircon will start beeping when it's full of water in the bottom. So I was like, shit, is that going to keep going? So I was like,
so what you notice is, totally forgotten his name again. Like, my brain is just on a go slow today. Elysian takes out an owl feather and a pearl and just takes the cloak off you, even lays it down and places this pearl and the owl feather on top, and then takes about 10 minutes to cast and understand. And you just sort of see this blue flash of energy is there, the staff which is sort of laid against the desk, the crystal of it just pulses for those 10 minutes. And as the spell ends, they sort of stand up and... Well, that was an experience. You are right that your gift is from beyond. It has the touch of...
you can tell that from what you did?
Well, the spell I cast is known colloquially as Identify, and it allows me to understand the very nature of the item I am trying to understand. In doing so, I have felt the very otherworldly power that it holds. It is known as the Veil Weave Cloak.
The Veil Weave Cloak.
I believe it is designed to enhance abilities of someone like yourself. You should find it easier to sneak around, but I also suspect you may find yourself less susceptible to fear and persuasion, or, well, not persuasion as such, but to being enchanted, entranced, so to speak. There's other power in this as well, untapped, I suspect. as you grow, so will it.
Thank you for doing what you did. I presume it is. Well, I am very glad to know what it does. I am very mistrustful for anything I do not know what it does. It cannot, for instance, do any harm to me.
Not that I'm understanding. Doesn't seem like it's got any curses or anything on it.
Well, thank you.
Very good. So, if you give your page a refresh in just a second, you can refresh now. You will notice that your Cloak of Elvenkind is gone, and you now have something different in there. Ignore some of the colour description in there, as I wanted to make sure it was fit in with the current design of Jewel as well. So I'll tweak that today, and I'll probably go and tweak that description for you. Fully homebrew item, I should say.
Nice.
So enjoy.
Okay, so that gives me similar to what it did before, which is wonderful. Your fire. Do bear with me while I read this, everyone.
Please hold.
Please hold caller. Wait one. Danny, where the hell are we going after this?
We're going to try and find Mayanora or JS or VS.
Or hopefully for Jules to remember why the hell she knows VS.
I don't know how we're going to do that without going to Thalissa.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my problem.
So, with new items, it seems like you've both had gifts from the tower, or at least from the pillar, or beyond. Is there any other research you need to do? Anything else you need to do to prepare? Have you got any ideas as to where you plan on heading next?
Well, okay. So the immediate thought would be to, which we cannot do, would be to return to Thalissa. This is where all of the previous members of everyone we are looking at potentially were. However, no, we cannot do this. It would it would be what is the phrase? Game over. So
probably not wise if you've got bounties on your heads. Yes.
Yes. Now, perhaps we could return for a short period to Master Alaric, where we may ask him if he has seen any of the other people. We may be able to find out if they are equally as hidden, or maybe we can see any of them.
I am sure if you were meant to meet with Master Alec again, they will send word.
Okay.
They may already have, but this place is a maze, so...
Lex, do you have any ideas as to when we might... where we might be able to see these people?
Well, actually, I know they set up camp in Thalissa, but is it worth checking out that he's took the books? I didn't check the book for any other locations where they may have travelled to set up base.
Well, Mayanora was an elf, so may be an option to head into the Elven territories and see if you can find any more information about her.
Yeah, that's true. Where would the Elven territory be?
It's almost directly north of here. And Jewel, with your accent, I imagine you would be fairly familiar with the Drymerian region.
Yes. Sorry, distracted by my clock. Yes, we could travel that way and see if anyone knows.
I mean, we can get you to
Oh,
the Drymerian region if that's what you need. We can also get you to Thalissa. It's entirely your decision. You also
I don't
mentioned
know, I do
Nylon.
not
I
want to
think
go
we could
there.
probably shoot you over there. We can, where you want to go, I'm sure we can get you there or get you close.
Yeah. Because I know I've got a mechanism for tracking the shadow creatures with the. I have like a tracking lantern that we acquired on our travels, but that's got a distance range on it. But I don't think we'll be tracking shadow creatures just yet. We'll be tracking actual individuals, won't we? So,
Well, I suppose
is there
if
a
you
way
want to
we could?
track shadow creatures, you'd need to go somewhere where you know they've been, which I guess is
Yeah,
Thalissa, right?
Thalissa. I'm just thinking, unless we want to return to Thalissa with proof of our innocence, and then that way we can return safely. Although I do not have any evidence to prove our
I
innocence.
cannot guarantee safe passage well, we would not be able to guarantee safe passage there unless you've got some mechanism of proving your innocence, which, while we may believe you were caught in the room with the body,
Yeah.
you have yet to identify a murderer and bring them forth, so a little bit difficult.
Or did you want to? Now this is where my notes get up. Because we went under the temple in Thalissa. Is that where we found JS's stuff, or was it in the temple?
You found the spell book of JS underneath the temple.
And then when we went
you
off
also
into
found
the
a
desert,
diary which was separate, and that was where you had the mention of M.
because where I get confused is what we found under the temple in Thalissa and what we found in the desert underground place.
In the lost
Crypt.
Yes,
Tomb.
that was the artifact that allowed you to pull Jewel back.
Yeah. Okay.
Lex.
You also found a shit ton of cash.
Yeah, boy.
Lex, I'm sorry, I am trying to piece as much together as I can in a coherent fashion. Mayanora left this place about 2 years ago, I believe, from what they have said. She may well have headed north, and it just so happens I came from quite close to here, basically northwest of here. It was also the reason why I left my village. It was our village was plagued with the appearances of shadows and people having these weird nightmares and waking dreams, and as I say, it caused one of my friends to run from one of these shadows and unfortunately fall into one of the pits nearby. I tracked someone I believed to be connected to it, someone we had never seen before, and I tracked them away from the village. My path went all the way to Thalissa. I am wondering if I have just realized I know a certain path of where Mayanora went. We do not know how long they were in Thalissa, and it may have been that they were there only weeks before I was. Perhaps we need to find out if this is the case. Following where they have gone from here, may be a fool's errand. It may be more information that we would love to know.
When you tracked that individual, did it take you through the Elven territory?
Matt, did it? I can't remember. I haven't got the map up.
Well, this is pre-stream, so yes, you would have traversed through Drymere, but the direction Jewel will have had to take is the only major route there is. So Jewel would have headed north up through Drymere to, even I can't remember now, because there's that many places on the fucking map.
Yeah, so I need to get the map up and I can't.
Bear with me just a second.
Is that one?
Maps.
Maybe that one.
That one. So, yes, you would have headed sort of, east towards Dryad's Gate, and then north through the mountain pass towards Islin, where you would then traverse across the plains of Binnerith to Rosendum.
Shall I bring it up on
Through the
stream?
Meridian Vale. Yes. Jules had a journey, put it this way.
Yeah.
So, Jewel would have gone through Dryad's Gate towards Islin, and then headed east along that main route there, towards Rosendum. So, all the way up, across the plains of Binnerith, towards Rosendum, to Nunland,
Across there.
Caladan, and then you would have headed sort of south towards Forzook, and yes, that way, before then getting a...
Okay, now you've had a right track.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually going to say, for the sake of this, because we didn't discuss it, that you made your way across to Deluin. And it's from Deluin where you set sail.
Oh, nice. Sweet. Sounds good.
There you go. Followed that shipping route all the way down to Thalissa, avoiding the deserts.
Cool. There we go. So yeah, I would explain all of that to...
In fact, no, I have got this written down. You wouldn't have done that. I'm going
No,
to
because I was going to say, hang on a minute, because...
You would have gone to Eleanor, Phelan, Aenath, and then from there all the way, the big shipping route, all the way across down to Thalissa. You would have headed south.
Where?
Sorry, I've just looked at my notes. So from, if you go all the way back to Drymere,
Let's go from there.
so from Stonebark you would have headed to Eleanor, and then down to Phelan.
Where are we?
Eleanor, right in the middle there.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
And then down to Phelan, and from
Yeah.
Ahanath or Aenath down and across.
Okay, fine.
A long shipping route. And I'll leave it up to you to figure out how Jewel got to there in terms of, did she pay her way? Did she smuggle her way? Was she stowaway? Did she change ships? Was it one ship all the way? Did they go to a cruise and then stop there and actually Jewel's been to a cruise before? Or you let me know.
Yeah, well, I'll just do that on stream.
That's fine, because that's sort of the unimportant backstory there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yes, I will. Well, so I've already explained supposedly to well, Jewel had to Lex. That's how I followed. So Lex, in in answer to your question, no, it would not have necessarily. Well, it sort of would have gone through Drymere, but I lived on the edge of it, but no, not necessarily to the center or the main city of after I am here. I do wonder whether Dryad's Gate, however, is the best place we need to go to find out if they knew of Mayan going anywhere near there, and whether they then found them going west. I think that is the... We do not know where they are now, and they could be anywhere in the world, so we need to, unfortunately, pretty much track their footprints, cold as they may be. Someone will know.
Okay, I trust your judgment.
Matt, can Jewel also do a check looking back through her notes to find the information that I have found, little as it may be? Either that, or I can always, look back in,
It's in your notes.
Yeah.
So, rather than ask you to make a check, you flick back through the various scribbled bits of notes you've got, and you find that exact phrase.
Lex.
Jane. Oh, Vane is the uncle.
Yeah.
I don't know how you exactly phrased it.
That's fine.
But yeah.
Lex, I do have a note. I think we must have been rather excited at this moment. We did hear of someone called Vane, who is the uncle to Jane. Now we know of Jane, and I believe that Vane did my notes simply say dark magic and blood magic. This seems to fit the bill of the person we may want to find.
Yes.
And I do also have that Jane is the understudy to Artemesia. Although,
Oh my god, it's all meeting together.
in my notes it says Janice, but that's probably because it's an S afterwards.
Jane is rather than Janice. Okay. If maybe they were part of a wider organization, and that is something we can inquire about.
Yes. Then we have 2 names, 3 names, with Mayanora, and Mayanora may or may not. Well, Mayanora, we believe potentially is what we thought was the receptionist. However, is quite possibly quite magical.
Yeah.
Very well. We are following Mayanora for now. Yes.
Yeah. Is Jewel quite good at art? She takes meticulous notes, but can she also do good drawings and shit?
Yeah, as in copy more. Well, yeah. So yes, copy, but also with a good enough role, is fairly artistic in drawing what people look like.
Because all I'm thinking is, Karsus knows Mayanora more intimately than any of us. They could give you a description, you could draw a likeness, and we could use that in our inquiries looking for them.
But when we do, just remind him to not describe anything lower than the clavicle.
Yeah, well, they might know of a particular birthmark that might be pertinent information.
Well, then, yes, perhaps. Right, yes, let's...
It's as good a plan as any.
I think so. I think heading to Dryad's Gate is going to be the best option for us for now. We can see how Karsus is doing with his research, and we can keep him... We can get him up to speed with everything we have done and found here, and then well, maybe just before we do leave, we will see if we get a note from Master Alaric However, I believe that all 3 of these are going to be beyond his sight.
We're going to try.
Okay. If that's the case, then I think we are done down here. Let us head back upstairs to your room.
We will follow you, as this is quite the maze.
Oh, of course. Of course. And Elysian sets off at a fairly rapid pace. It's not quite a jog, but it's a very fast walk. You weave through the library and back down the corridors. You pass the new Chamber of Chronomancy again on your way out, sort of almost retracing your steps, and then find that main set of stone stairs that is very rough cut up to the wall that you'd previously entered through, and that sort of just disappears for a moment as you step through, reappears behind you, and you are back in the serene marble, nature-inspired aura and environment of the Azure Pillar. And Elysian leads you back up to the big spiral staircase even, and you weave back up until you eventually reach your room, where Elysian then sort of waits and says, well, I have done what I've been asked to do. It's been very illuminating. I'm going to go back to my more simple life, if you don't mind, and go and do my duties for a while. If
where do we go, or who would we need to speak to acquire transport away?
Yes, I will inform the powers that be that you need to seek transport elsewhere. Now, having done some study here, I suspect, and yes, this looks like a messenger coming along just here, I suspect Master Alaric is going to want to speak to you anyway, and this messenger does sort of walk over, and they're a little bit huffy, a little bit entitled, sort of, you've got a message here. I'm not a messenger boy.
Thank you. I am not a cat.
By definition, you are definitely just delivered a message, and you are a boy. I'm confused by your statement.
I'm more confused by her statement. Anyway, that's for you. I'm out. Bye. And they wander off. Excuse me. I will return to my duties, and I'm going to go reprimand some of our more junior members.
Thank you for your manners and your hospitality.
It was, quite honestly, a pleasure. It's been interesting. Thank you for allowing me to accompany you on your brief journey here. I look forward to seeing you in the future.
Elysian.
Thank you.
Thank you for trusting us.
There is nothing not to trust from what I can see. I hope you do us the honor of discovering what has happened to Artemesia and bringing us some closure as an organization.
Jules simply bows. Or bows ahead.
Elysian bows and then turns and walks and shouts, Gareth! Here! See the messenger boy sort of try to scamper away.
Jeffrey?
And just sort of stops and winces and turns, and you can see they wander back, and then Elysian just grabs them by the ear and twists it and lifts them off the floor and then wanders with them. And you just hear this, oh, you fucking shame!
Oh, I think that was undercommon.
At this moment, the door opens, and a rather bewildered Karsis with somewhat rings under their eyes where they've just been reading, like flat out reading. They've been so absorbed in these books. Just stands there and looks around. What was going on there?
Oh, nothing. Someone was getting reprimanded. It was quite fun.
Missed quite a lot, my friend.
Oh no, nothing really happened at all.
Oh well, if you say it didn't happen, then it's not happened.
We have a lot to catch you up on, Cassis. You look tired.
Tired? Yeah, sorry. I've been so absorbed in these books. It's been fascinating. I've learned a lot. I've written a lot, and I've gone totally off Irish there. No, you tell me what you've learned, and we can. I'll show you some of the spells that I've picked up, and we'll go from there.
Just one moment. Can I read the message from?
Yes. Yeah. You open it up, and there is a handwritten message there, which you see is from Master Alaric, and it just simply reads, "I will see you in the morning."
Ah, well, that makes this a lot easier. Jewel will lay back down on the bed and look quite exhausted, that sort of mental exhaustion that they've gone through. And
Cassis rubs their eyes, just sort of closes one of the books. Perhaps I should take a bit of a rest.
Yes, I feel like we all need to, and perhaps catch up in the morning.
Well, it's only lunchtime from what I can figure out, but
it just felt like a day down there.
Then
yes.
Sure.
So yeah, proceed to fill Cassis in on everything that we.
And you can see on Cassis's bed, the double bed, it is just littered with papers, just literally chock-a-block with papers, and I don't mean tissue paper, I mean parchment with written notes on it, because I know you filthy fuckers would have gone totally different with that. So you fill Cassis in on what you've learned. Cassis sort of shows you some of the new spells they've sort of picked up and explains some of the understanding they've gone through. What you don't see is, in fact, make me a perception check, both of you.
Ooh, 11.
Perception. 25.
25. So, I mean, the DC wasn't that high anyway, but you'll definitely fucking notice this. Cassis doesn't go anywhere without their sword, but currently the sword is not with them.
Cool. Doesn't say anything, but is intrigued.
So you catch up, you talk as friends, as allies, and Cassis sort of agrees that Maynor is probably the way to go. You get a sense there's a bit of intrigue, but also a bit of distaste there, as Cassis is like, I slept with a bitch. And there's a little bit of sort of not happy about that one, that he's been, or they have been used somewhat, sorry. But still.
Keeps that fire, Cassis. We are going to need to find this person to... Well, yes. We have all been slighted. I was let in by this person.
She'll get fire, alright. Don't you worry about that.
Good.
Very well. Well, I assume we can't go wandering, so I guess it's just wait here, and I don't know. I've not got my sword, so we can't spar. Not that any of you would stand a chance, but
I did notice. I was not going to pry. This is the first time I've seen you without it.
Aye, well, I noticed there were some enchanters about, so I asked if anybody could do anything with the sword, and I didn't want it changed too much, but they've agreed, and well, we'll see what they come back with.
Wise. We've also picked up a couple of tricks ourselves, so hopefully they'll aid us in our quests and investigations.
You can see that the cloaks changed a little bit, and Lex, I don't know.
Well, you might notice it. I'll just pull my shirt open a little bit, and you'll see that I've attached that mana stone to me. my necklace, my arcane focus necklace, so you can see like a blue hue underneath.
That's very, very pretty, Lex. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's quite the weird experience, but I feel like I've come out the other side a bit better than I went in. So that does remind me. I did want to do something. Cog, is it possible to speak to Primus? Can I communicate with him from here?
And to Carsis and Jewel now, there is just a number of clicks and words and the sounds of cogs sort of clinking against each other. Or you hear Lex's, not possible here. Need to be there.
Okay. Never mind. I was hoping I could question him on Kronos.
Kronos? Name is familiar.
Yeah, we spoke before. I asked you if Kronos created the great equation that Primus looks after, if he is the god of time and fate. You didn't know. So you said so I need to ask Primus myself, is what I've deduced.
There is the sound of almost a rapid succession of cogs moving around and whirring. Kronos, name is familiar.
Well, you have record of Kronos?
Kronos is familiar.
Do you have any more information other than they are familiar?
Information on what?
Oh, it's like the worst fucking roller. It's like trying to get up the footy scores on teletext back in the day, innit?
No, there is a big ass firewall, and
yeah.
/command delete every time he hears that phrase.
Yeah. The SQL database is well protected.
Yeah. You have too many apostrophes in this particular line.
Kronos is familiar. Can you elaborate on why he is familiar to you?
Kronos is familiar. Why ask?
Right. Never mind. This is not important.
This is happening. This is happening in your head, isn't it?
Yeah,
No, it's a spoken language, but it's it's clicks and words and the sound of machinery. It's bizarre hearing it come out of Lex's mouth, actually.
Can Jewel hear the constant repetition of clicks and words? The suddenly
you just hear Kronos over and over again, because I imagine Kronos isn't in the language. So you know when you hear people talk Mandarin and then all of a sudden they'll just go Wi-Fi and carry on talking Mandarin.
Yeah.
I mean, I am learning Greek at the minute, and there was like market. Okay, that's an easy one.
Yeah. I've got a picture one.
Make me a perception check, please, Jewel.
It's a bit balls. 15.
15. You do pick up the pattern of that almost seems like it's when Lex has stopped talking, but it doesn't seem like Cog themselves is communicating in any way. It's almost like they lock up for a moment, and then there's that sound, and then they release, and there's more variable clicks, words, and mechanical sounds.
Lex, what are you talking about? Sorry to interrupt.
I'm trying to gather information on Kronos, because I think Kronos and Primus are linked somehow. Primus oversees the great equation that we all are a part of, or variables within the great equation. And if Kronos is a god of time who weaves the threads of fate, then my question is Kronos Primus, or did Kronos create the great equation that Primus now resides over? I'm just trying to figure out how that may play into the gifts I've been bestowed upon today.
Cog did not seem particularly...
Cog seems to be stuck on a loop.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. It appears I do not have that level of clearance for that level of information.
Is this the first time that also Lex has actually spoken about Primus and Kronos?
I think I've mentioned.
You've mentioned
my mention is from
Primus.
Primus,
This is probably the most Lex has been, or the most vocal Lex has been around Mechanus, Primus, the Grand Equation, and those pieces of information. Which we will put down to both a level of trust and the lack of meditation, or the failed meditation.
Yeah.
I'm giddy because I'm the time master. No, I'm really over-egging it. I've learned 2 new spells, and I'm now Doctor Who.
I'm 907 years old. I have 2 hearts and
Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly.
yeah, that sentence got away from me there a bit. Okay, has Jewel heard of Kronos?
Make me a history check, please.
Would we assume that
13.
we filled each other in on our separate research that we did? Because essentially that's...
Yeah.
So the only mention you've had of Kronos is what Lex had told you beforehand. Yeah. You've not come across the name before.
Okay. Well, that is all very beyond me. And this is talk of too many gods and deities for my liking, I have to be honest. Especially with the knowledge I have ascertained.
I'm still impressed that Lex has unlocked a new form of magic here.
Perhaps. Well, yes, that,
that's kind of
my head, but,
detail.
Yes.
I feel like they should give you some sort of reward for that.
I feel like I've been rewarded in some kind of way, but already. But I've just read.
We're gonna have to work on your negotiation skills.
Absolutely, we need coin to make our way.
Well, I was hoping for some potions from the Alchemist before we leave. When we speak with Alaric tomorrow. Healing potions, that sort of thing. As you know, some of us have a penchant for dying, so I'd rather try and prevent that as best we can.
Oh, Lex, that is very much a dig towards me, I know, but, well, okay, touche.
This emotional version of you, Lex, is rather interesting. I won't deny. Did you have trouble with your breathing this morning?
In the fact, you didn't do it.
Yeah, I didn't even attempt it.
Sorry, I've been too enraptured in, this, as you can see.
The day kind of got away with me. I should probably do that now. And I'll take myself off to meditate. But during my meditation, not only will I try to still my emotions, I'm thinking, when's the last time Primus spoke to me? And it was in a dream, which is kind of like a meditative state. So I'm going to see if I can go and speak to Primus via meditation. See what crack is.
Okay. Very good then. So you go and meditate. What check am I going to ask you to do for this?
Good question.
I'm going to ask you to make me, because it's kind of this, I'm going to ask you to make me a persuasion check, please.
Natural 20 for 26. What a time to roll it. What a time.
You kneel down and sort of center yourself and just take that first deep breath. And as you breathe out, it sort of shudders out. There's that. And you center yourself and find that harmony, that balance, that order within your very being, despite the energies that now flow through you. And in that moment, you feel that new weight around your neck. And it's almost like you're back in that room again where you saw time. And the fragments of time around you. And as you peer into one of those fragments, you can see a great cog. And as in an actual wheel, not a massive Modron cog. A great gear, we shall say. And a voice. This is new.
Is it possible to keep this line of communication open?
Briefly.
I have questions about Kronos and how you are linked, if at all, to Kronos.
I am not linked to Kronos. Why do you ask?
In unlocking something within inside myself and gaining some new power, I've learned of a Kronos, a god of time and fate. That contradicts with you being the overseer of the Great Equation, which seems to also be time and fate. How can both exist?
A god.
I know
Nor
this.
was I ever a god.
So, how can both exist, you and Kronos?
Make me another persuasion check, please.
Whoa, 23.
Many gods have existed throughout time. There are said to be old gods. Kronos is one.
Do you see yourself as carrying on Kronos' work or legacy?
No. Kronos was one of time. Kronos is time. I am beyond. The Great Equation is mine and mine alone.
Is it possible for me to be connected to Kronos and still successfully deliver our mission?
Your directive is your directive. How you achieve that directive is already determined in the grand equation. You do not need to understand that equation.
But what if greater understanding of the equation will help me achieve my primary directive? I could foresee what will happen and make me more successful.
If you see what will happen, it will not happen. There is truth in unknowing.
Obviously, Schrodinger's cat doesn't exist in this universe, but that's essentially the vibe we've got going on in it.
Absolutely.
I believe it's Caleb's cat.
That's
Sure.
not in this world, that's a parallel world.
That's the multiverse. What do you know do you know of the multiverse? Does the great equation expand beyond this material plane?
This is not important.
It is to me. And to our investigation.
Your investigation is around planar rifts, not multiversal theories.
What if they are intertwined?
That is for you to discover.
Can I call on your advice again?
If you create this connection again, I will answer. But time, my time, is critical. Do not interrupt the grand equation.
Understood. And then I'll just break the connection.
And so, now I need you to roll me for your meditation, please. But I'm going to say, given that conversation, do so at disadvantage, please.
Oh. 18 is my lowest, though.
Despite the frustration, you still center yourself and find that order within yourself. There's a lack of answers, there is a lot of unknowns, but you trust in what you have set out to do.
You'll notice a more measured Lex return. With a better poker face.
Absolutely. It's almost like the mask has fallen across Lex's face once more as Lex returns from their bed, or just by their bed where they've been knelt. You've not heard any of the conversation, obviously. But yes. That given, Jewel, is there anything else you wish to do in this moment? For yourself, by yourself, with the team?
Spend an hour reattuning, I suppose, to the cloaks so that I know what it actually
Very
does.
good.
Yeah, that's it.
So in that moment, then, as you spell, well, in that hour, it's almost like you feel that presence again, or that familiar feeling of floating beyond. And as you close your eyes and attune to this item yet again in your mind's eye, you see that silver thread. And you begin to understand the powers of this cloak and what it now offers you.
Cool.
Beyond the item you had been given before, now forever transformed into something new, something unique.
Damn.
Damn. Very good then. Well, I think with that, this gives us a nice point for us to close for the evening. So another episode of lore, but also a lot of understanding of figuring out things going on. I think I said way back when we started this campaign, sort of off screen, this was very much going to be like the Scooby Gang, and that's definitely what it's turned out to be these last couple of episodes, or the Mystery Machine. So thank you all for joining us for episode 25. As a reminder, next week we are off again. We'll be rebroadcasting Witches and Wildlights Part 2, so please enjoy that. I listened to both parts not so long back, and they are a lot of fun. Part 2 has a lot of twists and turns, so if you've not seen it, do check it out. We will then be back the following week for episode 26, and we will continue our investigations and leave the Azure Pillar, by the sounds of it, to our next destination. So lots more in store, folks, lots more to figure out, lots of mysteries left to solve. But thank you all for being with us. Thank you very much for the raid at the beginning. It's been amazing. Thank you for the interaction in the chat, or in the chat. To those of you watching on YouTube, thank you so much. For those of you listening on the podcast, thank you as well. Like, subscribe, rating, reviews, anything you can do is truly amazing. So thank you so much once again. And with that, we have been the Malt and Magic crew. This has been episode 25. Stay safe. We love you all, and we will see you next time.